there is an unparalleled tonic in the vastness of the wild. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Afternoon Lagoon. I'm Coco, and here we're talking about healing. And this week we're going to be focusing on how to heal using nature as a tonic. Let's get to it. The medicine of nature lies both with its vastness and with its wild. Its roots go deep. They'll continue to grow in the forest floor well after we're gone. Cheryl Strayed was definitely not the first, but she might be the most infamous woman to work out her problems on the trail. While in Cheryl Strayed's book, Wild, she used the walking on the trails as a type of penance, this ancient tonic of walking in nature as medicine is not only free, but it's a potent tool in mental and physical wellness. Nature is such a visual representation. It's therapy you get to walk around in. You are actually in a physical representation of the natural state of seasonality. Things that are lying dormant, but not dead. Things that are bursting through the natural state of decay, of rebirth, of symbiotic relationships forming, and of toxic takeovers. All of these are powerful visuals that we can help draw parallels to in our own life. You actually get to walk around in these ideas and concepts that are the most, dare I say it, natural component of our humanity. Will we live on? Do our problems really matter in the grand scope? What is our purpose? How can we help others? How can we help ourselves? These deep-rooted human questions of existence are for us to see on display in nature. You can see things like fresh grass growing through the snowbanks of winter. The idea that something can actually come and smother you and crush you and force you to retreat, and that you're able to have the fortitude and the means to break through that. It's just a beautiful visual for you right there to consider along your path. The idea that you can be completely enveloped in darkness and cold, but break through. There's something about going into the wild, unforged and unpaved parts of the world and finding your way through. It's a prescription you can write yourself, but it actually is backed by science. A mere 15 minutes in the woods lowers your heart rate and relaxes your breathing. And most powerfully, it lowers your cortisol levels. This 15 minutes increases our cognitive abilities. It actually does allow us to problem solve more easily, to see solutions we couldn't have seen before. In the past few years, I started prescribing myself walks in the woods as a tonic to deal with grief. I suffered a great loss and my heart was heavy with grief and with sorrow. Before, when I had a heavy heart, I followed the prescription laid out to me by One Too Many rom-com. I drank wine and cried. I distracted myself with technology, endless scrolling, anything to numb my thought. But I found that none of those actually helped heal in any way. I didn't actually find joy or the ability to experience those raw emotions. I just numbed them for a moment. Nothing quite has the soothing and therapeutic powers and potency for me than the release that I get following a long walk in the woods or by the sea. I think there's something powerful about seeing these visuals of the natural world. I remember once walking in where was it? Somewhere in the Redwood, maybe Pfeiffer? No, it was Big Basin. And it was the morning after my grandmother had passed away. And I remember seeing what they call a fairy circle, which is the most incredible, magical enigma in the natural world. And a mother tree actually is seeding and feeding its offspring. And as she dies, they create this perfect circle of trees around her where they stand in homage then to their parent, their elder, for the rest of eternity, for the rest of their lives. And her sacrifice is what enables them to grow. And I just remember thinking how powerful and how beautiful that was as a representation for the matriarchs in our life. I remember having a difficult time with my own mother and thinking that there are these roots that grow in this long trunk where everything is one. Every part of the tree is one. And then it branches out, and branches go one way and the other. And it is the most natural part of growth, is to grow together so that you have the strength to grow apart. All of this really helped to remind me that things like grief are just love with no place to go. It gives you a space to scream into the leaves and the dirt and the marrow of the trees with your sorrow and your anguish and your upset at the injustices, to release those primal shouts of anguish and sorrow. I'm sure when Cheryl Strayed chucked her boot over that cliff into the snowy abyss below and screamed as it tumbled down the rocky cliffside, she was letting go of more than just her boot in that moment. I think she threw a little bit of her pain away with that boot. My advice is to write yourself a prescription to go wild. Go to the forest, go to the sea, go to a yard, go to a park, go to whatever small patch of nature you can find, and just be a witness to how you change after becoming part of the landscape. It is our most ancient and natural remedy for things like sorrow, grief, anguish, confusion, hurt, betrayal, and sorting out the complexities of life. It literally clears your head when you can't see the forest through the trees. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and taking a little adventure with me into the woods. We post videos every Tuesday that have to do with recipes to heal your body and your soul using food as therapy in that way. And every Friday, we post videos that talk about using the natural world and elements of healing to help you live a more joyful life. So please like and subscribe, and we will look forward to you guys stopping by for more bites of the afternoon macaroon. Mwah.